Well, you know what time it is. Back into the Heartlands, episode 9, and this should be the end. This should be the end of the story from Helena and Quincy's perspective. Remember that I'm not going to create different seasons. I think I'm just going to continuously play, so that means rather than calling the Larisse playthrough season 2, we're just going to continue on. We'll say that that's just episode 10. Because I don't know, why not? We'll just it's not a long enough thing for it to warrant having multiple seasons. But yes, this is going to be the last episode, unless something insane happens and I'm not capable of finishing it within an hour, and I severely doubt that. There's only one wall left, and I should say there's no shoutouts because, well, I think I've caught up. There's no more shoutouts, no requests. But anyways, in between episode 8 and this episode I'm currently recording, I have done a lot. I have gathered quite a few bit of resources. We have a real arsenal. I mean, it's kind of overkill now that I think about it, but you know, we've got high-grade incendiaries, high-grade explosives. I found an actually good weapon to use against it. That's a gun. So overall, I restocked all my plague busters. You know, we should be more than ready to defeat the final wall designated Zeta something. I don't know. I'm not as articulate as other people. I am a barbarian. What am I doing over here? Okay. Kind of odd start to the episode, but sure, we'll roll with it. As you can see, I last played and ended right at the beginning of daybreak so that we would have plenty of daylight to complete. Let's just see the name of it real quick. The dreaded... Get out of my way! Zeta Zone. Oh man, they're skipping the last letter of the alphabet. Because the last letter of the alphabet is the coolest letter of the alphabet. It's the edgiest letter of the alphabet. So, here's what Helena's going to be packing. She will be the character I'm controlling. We were able to snag a Timberwolf. This is a bolt-action 50 caliber rifle, and we've got an extra 15 rounds. I can always make more if I need to. Melee weapon's not important. We've got more C4. Got even more in the trunk if we need it, in the supply locker. More Willy Pete's. They did really good last time. More distractions. Plenty of Plague Busters. We've got the enhanced cure, the healing items, stims. You know, we're ready to rock. And let's go get Quincy. Like I said, I really like the idea of Helena and Quincy kind of rolled in here, and also I like both the characters. If I don't wind up liking Larisse and her aunt, you know, I won't do it for them as well, but I wound up liking Helena and Quincy.
You first, amigo.
But who knows, I might like Larissa and her aunt as well. Or I might give someone else a chance to get the spotlight, we'll see. Let's go see what Quincy's equipped with.
You need something?
Either way.
So Quincy's got the R12 import. I think that's just, you know, doesn't require any accuracy. Fully automatic shotgun. Doesn't use it as much as he could, though. Of course, he's got some cures. He's carrying even more C4 charges. We found thermite grenades and napalm grenades. We've got distractions. We've got more plague busters. And, of course, he's got heavy cures. And he's got soda. Because I ran out of the good stuff.
I know this is crazy, but for some reason having that big old T-Rex watching over us makes...
And here is the vehicle. It, of course, has its standard supplies fully fueled up, or basically full. And I threw on an extra repair just to have everything, you know, riding in style. And, of course, we've got an extra 3 med kits. So, we are loaded for bear, to say the least. Let me make sure my TV is muted. Okay, it was muted. I need to have like a checklist for things that I do before I record. That would be something a responsible producer does, but... Oh my god, the controls are reversed because I'm backing out. And I'm backing out like an idiot. I also am now able to switch items back and forth, because apparently if you remap... Oh, there goes vehicle had lost a little bit of durability there. Not quite riding in style, but I don't think it changed the physical. Ah, why am I driving like a moron all of a sudden? What's happening? I can't do two things at once. I can't talk and drive at once. I can do that in real life. I can drive and talk at the same time. I don't know why I can't do it here. Anyways, what was I saying? I can't remember. All my senses have left me. All my ability, damn it. Everything is messing up. I'm blaming, this is everyone's fault except mine. This is your fault, viewers. All of you are at fault, not me. I shift all of the blame onto you. You're the one who's doing this. So we're going to get to see the infamous, or perhaps, I would say so far it's infamous. So far I have not heard people say that they like the ending. However, maybe I should say that out loud and give people a bias towards it. But that said, it's, you know, genie's out of the bottle. A lot of people are not super happy with the ending. You know, I'll of course judge for myself. But that's what the word on the street is. Not happy with the ending. I would love to make a review for this, but it's going to have to wait till I beat both of the story modes, and that's simply because you only get one save slot. If they gave me 2 save slots, I could start searching for footage and, you know, interesting gameplay snippets. But I only get 1 save slot. So I will have to beat the game on both sides, and then I'll have to restart again so that I can actually get video clips in order to form the video review on how good it is. And by then, the DLC will be relatively old. But I've seen popular reviews come out months after a game comes out. So I don't necessarily think that the timing is all important, though it certainly, I think it is still relevant. Okie dokes, I don't think the positioning of the car is going to matter.
Get that thing off us! We just drew their attention.
By they, you mean one person? Somebody wanted me to do some looting, but I mean, let's get real. Like, in most cases, I would probably do it, but come on. We're going to be abandoning this place. This place is, it's going to get abandoned. This playthrough is going to get deleted. I'm not transferring anything over. I'm not, this is probably one of those places they would want me to loot, but I'm not transferring any of this gear to my main area. Perhaps in the, on a different place. Where am I going? Am I lost? I'm like wandering around like a moron. Because, okay, I went the wrong way. All this area looks the same to me. Let me be the first to tell you that everything looks the same to me. Okay, this is looking more familiar. I knew something was a little off. I'm like, I don't remember being able to drive that far in. But as you can see, yes, I can switch between my stims and my advanced cures, so, you know, pretty good. Oh, we should probably also activate our drone hacking. Take a moment for it to get going, but we can use an artillery strike in the meantime. Not gonna run there. I want to have a little bit of build up, a little bit of drama. Let's take into some of the sights as well. You know, I mean, who doesn't want to see like bedded garbage all over the place? Bedded zombie garbage everywhere. It's really a sight to take in. Kind of gives me a Dead Space feel. Play Dead Space. The necromorphs, they like to, you know, like rub their bodies all over the walls or something and like get their necromorphic garbage everywhere. So. Ah, excellent. The pop-in textures. The power of the Xbox One on display.
That poison cloud looks nasty.
Okay. So, here we are. It breathes. You hear that sound effect? I mean, it's pretty loud. I'd be surprised if you couldn't hear it. Anyways, let's call in our artillery strike. Let's get that primed. Next thing we're gonna do is plant a C4 charge.
Hey, Doc, what's behind this last wall?
I'm not sure, but I haven't detected any movement back there. Don't hold anything back. Take this last wall down, and your work is done.
The way it glows kind of gives it kind of a... looks like guts or something, or maybe it's supposed to be like veins pumping infected blood through it. Is that what it's supposed to look like? Okay, so before I do anything, let me just get a feel for what my items are going to be like. So I'm going to throw this, and we need to make sure we switch to this in time. So it looks like I want to go back instead of forwards. Okay, so here we go. Throw this, activate it. It's like juggling the items under a time limit can be a problem. All right, so I'm gonna throw this.
When you see my smoke, send in a mortar strike.
Throw this.
Find someone to handle that.
Really?
Ugh.
A juggernaut? Yes, that's it.
Okay, let's toss this. Let's search for the right item here real quick. Got the Plague Busters. One. So that's the second time we've done that. We have blown ourselves up. And we did take quite... look how much damage we took from just one of the artillery weapons hitting us. Looking for where that enemy appeared, but I don't see him. So we're gonna have to go back and get a med kit, because that actually hurt me pretty bad. It's probably not a good idea to be that close to a artillery strike, but... oh my god, how do I get out of here? How do I get out of here?
I can't keep doing this.
Nevertheless, I think we can all agree that the artillery was very effective against the plague wall. I was curious to see what kind of resistance we would get, because it seems like the plague walls differ in the reinforcements that they call. If you recall the third wall, Gamma Zone, it did not call any juggernauts in it. It was a wall that was explicitly feral. So let's also activate this. This will probably help us with dealing with the injuries. Like, gives you a 50% better probability of resisting injuries. A little tedious to have to go back and forth between the vehicle, but like I said, we are going kind of all out on our weaponry options. Okay. Let's see if Quincy needs it, because he may have been blown up by the artillery as well. Perfectly fine. I'm the one who's getting beat up. Back in we go. Hopefully minus the blowing myself up part. Well, of course, the minus blowing myself up part. Our artillery is on cooldown. Oh, it's interesting. Why is this still on fire? I think they put that out. You know, or I mean, if it's been abandoned, why is that still burning? I mean, was somebody here? Do the zombies, do they get cold at night? You know, a nice little cozy bonfire in a fuel drum. You know, that's warms the old zombified bones up. Here's another one. I mean, obviously it's here to give you light at night, but who is there to care about light at night? Also, who is smart enough to attack at night? Set the bomb.
Almost out of that.
Alright, so what should we use this time? I believe the airstrike still needs a moment to warm up. Yep. We got enough time for... let's try... the PDs again. Old PD grenades were pretty good. So let's go... this... Then we'll back up 1. Well, we'll throw this, detonate, and then throw the PDs. Well, okay, whatever. Throw this, throw that.
That screamer is seriously infected. Come on.
Got it.
One more time.
Let's throw distraction to anywhere. I need to get my busters out. Let's get that barrel. Where is that screamer? Oh no! We accidentally reactivated it. That was not part of the plan. Let's, where is it? Let's make sure Quincy's okay. Everyone is just... Yo, stay away, you jerk. Okay, let's throw another distraction. Let me try and line them both up. Got one of them, but not the other. We're definitely gonna have to throw another one.
One left. I gotta use another plague buster.
We're not using any more plague busters because we're not about to just accidentally...
I need to rest.
Okay, let's get me a stim.
Take that, smelly.
What an insult, Helena. You know, you really burned them there. Take that, smelly. They're gonna, like, go crying back to their zombie mommies in order to,
It's gonna get worse.
have their emotional boo-boos kissed. Darn it! You know what that means. My weapon is broken. God damn it! That means we gotta go back and change weapons. So that was my fault for basically throwing another Plague Buster out that actually... Am I going the right way? Is this the right way? Okay. So what happened there was I threw another Plague Buster that accidentally got too close to the node. I don't know what you call that giant abscess. And as a result of getting it too close to it, the game summoned another wave of reinforcements, and I'm completely lost again. Okay, it's this way. So now I'm going to throw this weapon back in. How am I doing on ammo? I'm doing fine on ammo. The PD grenades, they seem to do extremely well. I'm very satisfied with how they're performing. You know, it's funny, I bet... Oh, it's just right there. It's just right there. What am I doing? This was gonna go a lot better in my head. A lot better in my head.
Oh, hey, a friendly face.
I mean, it's not going bad, but I thought I would be able to clear it
This is seriously
in one clean attack. But, apparently not.
Something?
Out of my way. Out of my way! Okay. That should be... Let's make a few more just to be safe. I say it's enough, but I could be lying. Give me this. Give me more of these. Give me another PD. Give me another Buster. Okay. Once more into the breach! Let me check Quincy's state real quick. Or did you get really beat up?
There's the boss.
No, but you can use a let's activate it when we're actually there, so he can make the maximum amount of time of the infection resistance. So, in order to get the left and right ability, I had to rebind some of the keys, and that means I can't emote anymore, because something had to go, and emotes had to go. So, no more emotes, no more shouting at zombies, no more random emotes. I never used that anyway, so farewell, we will hardly miss ye.
Survival instinct is a powerful thing.
Oh, this is a dead end.
Stronger than the undead.
Okay. Okay. First, we set the charge. Charge set. Next, we call in the artillery support, which will be the drone strike this time. Drone strike is primed and ready. So this time, we're going to throw this, and we're going to go backwards to that, detonate to that. Okay. Throw this.
This place could use a drone strike. Can we make that happen?
Throw that. Throw this. Detonate.
Screamer nearby.
You can take this from here.
We got it. Now we need to throw a distraction.
Crap, that was the last plague wall.
Excellent work. I knew I was correct to have faith in you.
Get out of it, Quincy.
Seems safe and quiet in here. Hold on. What the heck is that? Doc, I think you better get down here and take a look at this.
Don't touch anything. I'll be right there.
Oh man, what's happening? Get these achievements out of my face!
Saved Trumbull. We found ways to turn the tide in our war against the Blood Plague. But in that moment of triumph, we had no idea how the box we opened that day would change our world forever.
Update received. Haven protocols are now enabled. Your cooperation in this experiment has been noted.
Was that it? Ends on a cliffhanger. Haven protocols, was that in just a generic computerized voice, or was that specifically in the Cleo voice? That could have been the Cleo voice, or it could just be another generic, you know, female with a little bit of, you know, distortion effects to give it a virtual sound. Future generations will remember this day as a turning point in the battle to reclaim the world from the zombies. So, hold on a moment. Let's take a moment to let's continue the game and see what happens. So, what we saw was we destroyed the plague wall, and it revealed what looked like perhaps an ICBM. It looked like some type of, like, based on the entry point of the weapon, it might have been some type of ICBM, and it might be implying that the Blood Plague was started by this ICBM. Now, I believe the knee-jerk reaction to this would be like, oh, the government was behind it all along, but my thought was rather than the knee-jerk reaction that, because that means it's going to be kind of a, Resident Evil kind of story with, you know, pharmaceutical companies start the zombie outbreak because, you know, they're evil. What if the Blood Plague was designed to kill the zombies and it didn't work, and instead the zombies adapted to it? So what if this ICBM was a solution? Because remember, there's kind of an order. The zombies occurred first, And the courthouse was fine. If you played State of Decay 1, the courthouse did not have an ICBM in it the entire time. Let's take a look at what's happened here. Okay, so it looks like it's just kind of rewinded us. Let's head back home. Because that objective is still up, you can see. That's the first thing I noticed. Let's confirm it. Yeah, we can see this. So it's kind of like the Legend of Zelda. They typically do that when you beat the game and reload it. It dumps you right before the ending scene. Someone had mentioned that that would happen. And so, yes, now we have physically seen it ourselves. So, is the Blood Plague something that was created by the government, and was it launched in that ICBM or whatever that was? It looked like it was some kind of weapon that was delivered, and to me it looks like an ICBM. And was it designed to spread the Blood Plague? Because in the first State of Decay, there was no Blood Plague. There were just zombies. Which is why I think it's plausible. I mean, it could be that way. It could be that the government, you know, oh, ho, 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 ho. This is our strategy for population control. We unleash a zombie plague to, you know, like, thin out the population. That is definitely a possibility, but what if the Blood Plague was actually a chemical response? And maybe they hoped that it would infect the zombies and kill them, but maybe it wound up... Maybe the zombies adapted to it.
You're welcome.
And it wound up mutating into what we call the Blood Plague, because maybe it infected the blood of the zombies, and maybe it was going to kill them. But it didn't, because as I said, the courthouse... It did not have an ICBM in it the entire time. Indeed, the courthouse was dealing with zombies long before whatever that piece of technology is was lodged inside of it. So, the courthouse collapsed, and the original survivors of State of Decay 1, they left, they exited the game, they beat the game and left before that occurred. So that means that that warhead could not have started the zombie outbreak, but it could have started specifically the Blood Plague outbreak. And yes, to retread, we're going to retread it one more time before I sign out. It is possible that maybe the government's behind it all and they intentionally created this. Because you might say, well, you know, that's why they sabotaged the bridge. That's why the bridge is out. A counterline, though, is perhaps the government was trying to help, and they created this Blood Plague condition that was supposed to kill the zombies, infect their body and kill them, but it didn't work. And instead of facing their failure and letting everyone know that they made everything worse and possibly screwed everyone, they decided to hide the evidence. Which is not an unreasonable thing. Governments are not the angels that they like to depict themselves as. But hey, that is that. The ending, I can see why people might not be happy with it, just barely anything. However, I must say I am glad they did not spell out the story, because if you've watched all the episodes of this series, not just that, but the Nightmare series, you'll know that I said that a good horror story never fully reveals its hand, because fear of the unknown is a really important part of a horror story, and if you explain the threat, if you demystify the threat, then that fear of the unknown disappears. But hey, that is that. Make sure you get a little more distance when you throw those artillery strike indicators, those smoke grenades, because wow, they really blow up. But look at that. Helena and Quincy, they made it through. They started it. In fact, we didn't have anyone die. They started it and they saw it out. It's not over yet, though. I'm going to be doing Larisse and her aunt's story next time. And I guess we'll see what happens from their point of view, and we'll get to see the ending a second time. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like it if it was found entertaining. And that sounded really mechanical and awkward. Let me try it again. Like this episode if it was entertaining, subscribe for future State of K2 content, and of course remember that you don't have to be good to get good.